Hello and welcome to Sports Around the World. My name is Blessing Bassi. The headlines. Countdown to AFCON qualifier between Nigeria and Sierra Leone. NFF working to ensure Super Eagles have full complement of players for the match. Nigerian Professional Football League to commence on December 6th. In tennis, Rafael Nadal breaks record for the most consecutive weeks spent on ATP Top 10. In basketball, new NBA season to commence on December 22nd. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll bring you more sports stories. Welcome back. The Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) is working round the clock to ensure it has the complete number of players for the African Cup of Nations qualifier against Sierra Leone to avoid falling foul of a new Confederation of African Football rule. The match against the Leone Stars will hold in Benin on Friday. CAF at the weekend ruled that any team that failed to fulfill an African Cup of Nations qualifying feature between November 11th and 17th would be handed a 2-0 defeat. It said a team must have at least 15 players, 11 starters plus 4 substitutes for a AFCON qualifier to go ahead. The Nigerian Football Federation invited 23 players for the game against Sierra Leone, but a recent decision by European countries to shut their borders due to a new spike in the spread of COVID-19 has made it difficult for some of the players to arrive in Nigeria for the game. Super Eagles chief coach Gernot Roy is confident that his players have the experience and talent to beat Sierra Leone. The three-time African champions will tackle the Leone Stars of Sierra Leone in double-header qualifiers, with the first leg billed for November 13th in Benin, while the reverse feature will hold in Freetown 4 days later. Ross said his boys have the experience to win both matches, but admitted they must treat both matches like a final and give it their best shot. Nigeria sit on top of their group with 6 points following their win over Squirrel of Benin Republic and Crocodiles of Lesotho. Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa insists the team will go out for an outright win against Sierra Leone on Friday's 2021 African Cup of Nations qualifying features. The encounter at the Samuel Ebemudia Stadium, Benin City, will be played behind closed doors as the organizers of the Nigerian Football Federation implement Confederation of African Football guidelines against COVID-19 pandemic. Musa states that the players will give their all in the encounter to make their fans proud. The Super Eagles top Group L with 6 points from 2 games. Ahmed Musa says he's in good shape and ready to help the team qualify for the next African Cup of Nations. Musa is currently without a club after he parted company with Saudi Arabia Premier League side AI Nasser last month. The former Leicester winger is already in Nigeria ahead of Friday's match against the Leone Stars, but his lack of club action has left many doubting his form. Musa, who spoke to the press when he visited the Flying Eagles training camp at the FIFA Goal Project in Abuja on Monday, said he is still training with his team and his form isn't a problem. Super Eagles assistant coach Joseph Yobo says it's important the team take maximum points in their AFCON qualifying match against Sierra Leone. The three times African champion who hosts the Lone Star at the Samuel Egbomudia Stadium in Benin on Friday before traveling to Freetown for the reverse features 4 days later. A win for the Garnet Roy side in both matches will strengthen their position on top of the table and will put them on the verge of qualifying for next African Cup of Nations. Yobo, however, highlighted that the team has to perform to their best abilities, especially when they are playing at home, because the reverse fixture in Freetown could be tricky. Yobo was appointed as the assistant coach to Garnet Roy in January 2020. Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll bring you more sports stories. Welcome back. Rafael Nadal has won 20 Grand Slam titles and over 1,000 single matches, but his latest achievement might be his most impressive yet. The 34-year-old has broken the first for the most consecutive weeks spent in the ATP Top 10, surpassing Jimmy Connor's 32-year-old record of 789 weeks. How much does this record have to Nadal start as the GOAT? Andy Murray said last month that he thought Rafael Nadal winning 13 times at Roland Garros was one of the best records in sport, maybe the best, but Nadal's latest record might just be his biggest achievement. Nadal, winner of 20 Grand Slam titles, 1,002 single matches, 86 titles, Olympic gold, and 5 Davis Cup, has now spent 790 consecutive weeks in the ATP Top 10, breaking Jimmy Connor's 32-year-old record. He first entered the top 10 as an 18-year-old on April 25th, 2005, and he is still standing at the age of 34. Connor lasted 789 weeks, while Roger Federer's best catch was 734 weeks from October 14, 2002 until October 31, 2016. Not only has Nadal lasted longer than both, he has spent the majority of his time ranked at number 1 or number 2 in the world. That kind of longevity and consistency is often spoken about as one of the hardest traits in sports for players or teams. The Vietnamese Grand Prix was absent for a draft 2021 calendar published by Formula One on Tuesday that featured a record 23 rounds, with a debut in Saudi Arabia and Brazil, returning despite fears for that race's future. Vietnam was due to host a street race in Hao Nai for the first time last April, but that was cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The absence of the Grand Prix on next year's calendar has been attributed to local issues, although Formula One did not give a reason or mention Vietnam as in a statement setting out the planned season. Meanwhile, Formula One has unveiled a record-length provisional calendar for the 2021 season as the sport plans to return to racing all around the globe. 22 races have been named for next year, and 23 slots has also been kept open in April should a replacement be found for Vietnam, which has been dropped from the planned schedule. The coronavirus pandemic has seen the 2020 season reduced to 17 rounds and largely based in Europe, but Formula One are confident a more normal campaign will be able to take place next year with fans in attendance. The F1 has never previously staged more than 21 races in a single season. Kell Brook believes an obsession over the biggest fight of his career will help him shock the boxing world when he faces Terence Crawford on Saturday. The Briton, 34, challenges Crawford in Las Vegas and must become the first man to beat the American if he is to take the WBO World Welterweight title. Brook's career has won since defeat to Gennady Golovkin in 2016 and the loss of his own world title against Errol Spence Jr. in 2017. Serious eye injuries sustained in each fight prompted a cautious return to action and a move up in weight class. But he is now dropping back down to the 147 pounds welterweight limit to take on Crawford, who has 36 wins from 36 bouts and 14 victories in world title fights. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll bring you more sports stories. Welcome back. Hostilities for the right to be called champions of the Nigerian Professional Football League will resume on the 6th of December. This was made known on Monday when the fixtures for the upcoming season was made public by the league management company, LMC. The league, which was suspended due to the COVID-19 pandemic, will feature some teams that completed the 2019-2020 season as no team got relegated. The LMC had earlier this month certified 13 stadia that met minimum requirements to host games for the commencement of the season. Adama United vs Kano Pillars, Katsina United vs Heartland, Nasarawa United vs Wiki Tourists, Plateau United vs Kwara United, Eyimba vs Abia Warriors, Rivers United vs Rangers, Akwa United vs Dakada, Jigawa Golden Star vs Sunshine Stars, FC Ifeanyi Uba vs Lobby Stars, MFM vs Warri Wolves. Eyimba will face Rahimo FC of Burkina Faso, while Plateau United will battle Simba FC of Tanzania in the first preliminary round of the 2020-21 Total CAF Champions League. This was revealed by CAF after the conclusion of the draws on Monday. Rahimo FC will welcome Eyimba in the first leg, while Simba will be the guest to Plateau United in their first meeting. Eyimba and Rahimo meet at this stage of the Champions League last year, with the Nigerian club triumphing 5-1 on aggregate. The first leg of the first preliminary round is scheduled for 27th to 29th November 2020. The reverse fixture will hold between 4th to 6th December 2020. 10 clubs already have a bye into the second preliminary round of the competition. The clubs are Egyptian giants El Ahly and Zamalek, WAC and Raja from Morocco, and Esperance of Tunisia. Others are TP Mazembe and AS Vita Club of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Guinea's Horaria AC, Mamelodi Sundown of South Africa, and Angola's Agosto. Enyimba are the only Nigerian club who have won the CAF Champions League. The Aba-based club first won the trophy in 2003, beating Ismaili of Egypt 2-1 on aggregate. In 2004, they defeated the title following a 5-3 penalty shootout win against Etoile du Sahel of Tunisia, after both legs of the final ended 3-3 on aggregate. The last Nigerian club to play in the final was Heartland in 2009, where they host to TP Mazembe on away goal rule. The 2020 edition of the Azizat Oshola 8-side football tourney will get underway in December. The football tourney, which is expected to hold in Lagos, Nigeria, will involve 32 teams in Nigeria who will take part in the one-week tournament. In the last few years, the Azizat Oshola Foundation has produced over 10 players for the Nigerian national team, from the under-17 to the under-20 to the Super Falcons. Two of the notable players are Rasheedat Ajibade and Chidima Okeke, and both of them have played for the Super Falcons and they ply their trade abroad for their respective clubs. Ikechukwu Ezinwa has attempted to raise the spirit of the Super Eagles ahead of Friday's 2022 African Cup of Nations qualifying clash against Sierra Leone. The Super Eagles will look to maintain their unbeaten streak in Group L when they take on the Leone Stars at the Samuel Egbemudia Stadium, Benin City. Ezinwa, who was not named in the squad for the game as a result of his inactivity at club levels, visited the team's Eteno Hotel based on Tuesday to demonstrate his support for the team. Ezinwa was part of Super Eagles squad that cried third at the 2019 African Cup of Nations in Egypt. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll bring you more sports stories. Welcome back. The NBA season will begin on 22nd December after an agreement was reached with players over scheduling, salary figures, and free agency dates. The usual season start date in October was pushed back because the coronavirus pandemic caused delays to the 2019-2020 campaign. But the NBA and its players' union have agreed a new date and a 72-game season, a reduction on a usual campaign. The agreement is yet to be approved by the league's board member, but the league and its players have a deal in principle that also includes a date of 20th November for when the free agents can start negotiating with teams. Teenager Jude Bellingham has been called to the England squad for the friendly against Ireland and the UEFA Nations League matches with Belgium and Iceland. The 17-year-old midfielder steps into the second squad for the first time after James Ward-Prowse and Trent Alexander withdrew with injuries. He has made 11 appearances for Borussia Dortmund this season following his switch from Birmingham City, scoring on his debut in the 5-0 win over Duisburg in the German Cup. Bellingham was originally included in the under-20 squad. Football Association Chairman Greg Clark has apologized for a reference to black players when talking to MPs about diversity. Clark said it was inappropriate for him to have used the term colored footballers. He had been talking by video link to members of the Department of Culture, Media and Sports Select Committee. Brennan said it was the kind of language that did not encourage inclusion. An FA spokesperson said afterwards that Clark acknowledged his language was inappropriate. Albania has emerged as the leading candidate to host England's Nations League game against Ireland next on 18th November if required, with Germany another option being explored. Albania has emerged as the game is in doubt because of the UK's government's new travel ban on non-UK visitors coming from Denmark. Iceland are set to play Denmark in Copenhagen 3 days before facing England at Wembley on 18th November. Albania's Football Federation is willing to provide a neutral venue. The Football Association is awaiting clarification from the government but is exploring all options. It has made a tentative approach to its counterpart in Germany about the possibility of the game being staged there too. The restrictions relating to Denmark have been implemented because of concerns over a new coronavirus strain that has spread from mink to humans. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we have the rest of the stories. Welcome back. World Cup winning US midfielder Megan Rapinoe has denounced the lack of investment in women's football around the world, saying it is disgraceful that a club like Manchester United had taken so long to revive their team. United immediately earned promotion to the Women's Super League and finished fourth in their maiden campaign in the top flight. They lead the table after 6 games this season, following Sunday's 1-0 win over Arsenal. Several US women's international players have joined the WSL this season, with Tobin Helt and Kristen Press signing for United. Rose Lave and Sam Maris moving to Manchester City, and Alex Morgan sealing a loan switch to Tottenham Hotspur. Rapinoe, who claimed the Ballon d'Or in 2019 after a career-defining year in which she won her second World Cup title, opted out of National Women's Soccer League competition this year. That's all we can take for sports around the world today. I am Blessing Basi. Have a lovely evening.
Yes, we knew they were going to press hard the pitch until the final whistle.
Athletic Club on Saturday, a goal in the opening 10 minutes from Yusuf
thank God
En-Nesyri.
we managed to take 3 points home.
Firing home the cutback from
It's a very
Lucas
deserved victory, do you think?